The number of Cheesecake Factory restaurants might be holding steady for the moment, but sales in recent years have been stagnant. Things aren't looking so great for the once popular chain. So why is this mall dining staple struggling? Next to an array of decadent cheesecakes, the restaurant is probably best known for its incredibly long menu. The sheer size of it can be as overwhelming as it is appetizing. So why have a menu that contains 250 items? Founder David Marshall had this to say about it. "I wasn't a chef. I had no experience in the restaurant business. I made sure that everything we served was something I could make myself. I probably should have kept the menu slimmer if I knew then what I know today. I had no idea we would become a chain and would have to recreate this menu dozens of times."
Which one, the classic burger, the ranch house burger, the barbecue burger, or the Kobe burger?
Can't we just go to Big Boy?
The trend of the long menu appears to be waning with American diners. National chains have begun slimming down menus over the last decade in order to cut costs, and because a massive menu sends a message that the food might not be great. The Cheesecake Factory, however, has resisted change.
Did you get that memo?
Yeah, I got the memo, and I understand the policy, and the problem is just that I forgot.
Restaurant diners today are also demanding that their food be healthier and fresher. While the Cheesecake Factory does make all of their food with fresh ingredients, it's hard to market yourself as healthy dining when you're known for large portions and decadent desserts. And many of its dishes really are unhealthy. The restaurant was named by the Center for Science and the Public Interest as the winner of its Extreme Eating Survey in 2014 for having 3 of the unhealthiest dishes in the country. As mouth-watering as the bruleed French toast looks, it's hard to justify ordering a breakfast that's packed with 2,800 calories and 93 grams of saturated fat. That accolade wasn't enough to scare the Cheesecake Factory into a diet, and once again, in 2017, it took home top honors with its 2,310-calorie pasta napoletana. While they did release a Skinnylicious menu in an attempt to keep up with the times, even that is a minefield of fat, sugar, and sodium. It's no wonder that health-conscious diners may be finding other places to eat. It's not easy being an hourly employee in the food industry, but it's also not easy running a chain of restaurants dependent on hourly employees. When numerous states across the country implemented an increase in minimum wages in January 2018, restaurants scrambled to find a way to adjust to the change and stay afloat. According to the company's CFO, Matthew Clark, the Cheesecake Factory was hit especially hard and stock plunged 14%. Why? A big part was California's minimum wage climbing towards $15 an hour in 2022. The company has more locations in California than any other state, and they're feeling the pressure. That's not an easy thing for a restaurant to deal with, and grappling with the rising cost of medical coverage for its workers has been a bit of a tightrope walk for the Cheesecake Factory, too. According to Clark, $4.6 million in higher group medical insurance costs year over year led to smaller than expected revenue in August of 2018.
I don't believe in coddling people. In the wild, there is no health care.
The Cheesecake Factory certainly qualifies as a decadent night out with its pages-long menu and dessert selection, but that decadence isn't cheap. Entrees run from around $15 to $21, and unfortunately, the prices at the Cheesecake Factory have continued to climb over the years. From 2011 to 2015, the average check total grew by 9%, and in 2017, the average check jumped from $21.85 compared with $19.70 in 2013. A lot of these increases likely have to do with those rising labor and insurance costs, but that also means that the number of diners who are willing to shell out for a night at the Cheesecake Factory is likely going down. Back in the dark ages, if you wanted to cook a meal, you had to go to the grocery store, comb through the aisles for every ingredient, and it was a serious hassle. That made heading to a restaurant like the Cheesecake Factory an easy choice for that special occasion. But now, even the laziest among us can be home chefs and whip up a healthy meal like grilled teriyaki salmon with roasted heirloom potatoes without having to set foot in a grocery store or even look up the recipe. There are an ever-growing number of home delivery meal kits available, and industry experts say it's making Americans more savvy with our food dollars. Who can blame us when we can create restaurant-worthy meals for a fraction of the cost, all without ever changing out of our pajama pants? The meal kit boom is taking a slice of pie away from the restaurant market, and with more options, people simply aren't hitting up the Cheesecake Factory as often as they once were, especially since those new options require less effort and less money. The millennial generation has become the largest consumer group, and their spending habits are without a doubt influencing the food industry. If you own a food truck, this is great news, but if you run a casual dining chain restaurant, not so much. With more food options available, casual dining chains are simply struggling to get millennial customers into their booths, and simply walking blindly into a Cheesecake Factory doesn't happen as frequently. Then there's the growing popularity of fast casual, quick-service restaurants. Diners are starting to gravitate toward eateries where they can be in and out the door in under a half hour. Good luck squeezing a 30-minute dinner in at Cheesecake Factory. You'll probably be waiting on a table at least that long. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite restaurants are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.